Hi, this is Mr. Wartsky again, and this is the second screencast in speciation. Last time we talked about allopatric speciation and pre and post-zygotic isolating mechanisms. Today we'll focus our attention on sympatric speciation and close these notes out. Now, sympatric speciation is different than allopatric, and that sympatric you do not have to have geographical isolation first. So this usually occurs within plants and insect populations and involves polyploidy, which means that a whole set of chromosomes are moved instead of just a single chromosome, which would be aneuploidy. This involves non-disjunction of a complete set of chromosomes. So instead, organisms will go from either 2N, which is diploid, to 3N, which is triploid, or from 2N diploid to 4N, which are tetraploids. The chromosomes fail to segregate or move during meiosis 1 or meiosis 2. Now, there are two types of sympatric speciation, and that depends on when the polyploid happens or occurs. That is autopolyploidy or allopolyploidy. We're going to go into autopolyploidy first. Remember, if you have to, please pause this video at any time. Polyploidy occurs within one plant, and then it will self-fertilize and become a triploid or a tetraploid. Now, this plant can only mate with triploids or tetraploids that were started originally. This plant can also form seeds. These seeds form plants, and the plants will self-fertilize to form seeds that grow into plants. So once you get that down, I do have a diagram here. I made this, you could probably tell. So this is my plant, and the 2N is 10. We have autopolyploidy, right? And then self-fertilization. So instead of the gametes having 5 chromosomes joining with another 5 chromosome for a 10 chromosome plant, instead polyploidy happens in the gametes. Now the N number is 10. So when it self-fertilizes, it'll have N10 plus 10 is equal to 20. So the new diploid number has doubled. It's gone from a diploid to from a 2N, this would be a 4N, which would be a tetraploid. So now the new gametes are, the N number is, the haploid number is 10, so it will self-fertilize, and you will have a whole population of 2N equals 20 plants. So you've gone from a set of plants that have 2N equals 10, now to 2N equals 20 because of polyploidy. Allopolyploidy is a little more complex. So pollen from one species, let's say that the 2N number is 10, so that means the N number, the haploid number, will be 5. Will fertilize an egg of another species, but that number is 12, 2N diploid number is 12, so the haploid number would be 6. The new seed will have an odd set of chromosomes, 2N equals 11. And if meiosis were to happen, the chromosomes couldn't line up during meiosis because there'd be an odd chromosome out. So the plant would be sterile. In allopolyploidy, the 2N equals 11 plant, the new plant, the hybrid, would undergo non-disjunction. So now the pollen would have a haploid number of 11, the egg would have a haploid number of 11, and it will self-fertilize so that the new plant would have a diploid number of 22. So when the plant produces seeds, the new diploid number would be 22, and that hybrid would no longer be sterile. So here's what I did. So we have 2N is 10, N equals 5, 2N is 12, N is equal to 6. The new plant has a diploid number 11, but the chromosomes can't pair up, right? So this plant would normally be sterile, but it undergoes polyploidy here. Now the 2N number is 22. It will self-fertilize so that the diploid number of 22 would be conserved. But notice that this cannot mate with this or this. So it is its own species. That was rough. Draw the diagrams, listen to the notes. So sympatric speciation shows that polyploids can survive harsh conditions. After all, our wheat is a polyploid. Some polyploids have an odd number of chromosomes and cannot self-fertilize. That means you cannot produce seeds. And bananas, the ones that we love, the ones that will disappear because of the fungal infection, will kill the monoculture. The bananas we love have vestigial seeds, the little black lines in the banana that we eat. So here are some types of speciation. We're going to refocus today on allopatric and sympatric, right here and right here. So don't focus on the other ones. Go to college and take evolutionary biology and you'll be taught the peripatric and the parapatric. And that is it. So if you have any questions, by all means, please watch the video over again. It's nice and short. Read your textbook. It's a good textbook. Or ask me tomorrow in class. Hopefully I'll have time for you. I'm sure I will. Have a good night.